Guys, at scoliosis, a right angle, we all know, is 90 degrees. I was 83.
12 screws, 2 rods. Yeah. It was like a mind game at some point. Like I would be like, okay, like it was crazy. Like it was so mental.
Old teammate, hasn't done power in how long?
Like consistently, 7 years.
7 years.
Perfect. Phoenix Fowler. I'm from Detroit, Michigan. I competed competitively in gymnastics for 6 years, 2010 to 2016, before I had my back surgery my senior year in high school. I had scoliosis. By the time I started gymnastics, I believe it was around like 35%. Leading up into my surgery, I got up to 82% of a curvature. So they said that was way too much for a brace or any chiropractic, care. They said surgery would be the only option. The 82 degrees, yeah, so like a right angle, boom, I was just a little bit off from that. Everyday life, there was like some discomfort, like daily discomfort. I'd say on a scale of 1 to 10, daily it'd be about between 4 and 6, daily. That's not including trying to do gymnastics. Trying to do gymnastics was a lot more painful, but it came in waves. So like some practices would be a little bit better, some practices would just be rough, just from the discomfort. It definitely helped because it helped shape the muscles around my spine that was, turned around, and by building those muscles up from gymnastics, it kind of built a strong like core around that like crooked back, which ended up helping later on when I got surgery. It helped me recover faster because I was a little bit stronger and less frail than the average kid who has that surgery. I lost about 20 pounds from the time I had the surgery until a couple months after. I definitely lost a lot of weight while I was in the hospital, for sure. And gymnastics is fun, It teaches you, and not only on the physiology side, but on the mental side, it helped turn me into a strong individual. So, when I had the surgery, it didn't really take a toll on me mentally. I was prepared for it. And I feel gymnastics helped a lot with that as well, just with discipline and seeing a goal and understanding why we're trying to get to that goal, I do think there were some instances where I definitely messed myself up. Do you remember when I pinged off high bar, trying to do my Jaeger and I face planted in scorpions? Yeah. In hindsight, that was a very funny moment. But in the moment though, it would hurt. I think I let a few cuss words fly out too when I was on the mat. For any of the viewers who don't know what a Jaeger is, it's like from a front giant, you arch down, you tap up, let go of the bar, and catch again. But in the process of me tapping, I pinged off, did like a really quick flip, face planted, and then just scorpioned, and oh yeah, it was bad. I feel like that definitely worsened my scoliosis a few degrees. I say I was more uncomfortable in the gym because everyone trained with their shirts off. It's more comfortable. It's hot in here. And it's safe in case you get your hands caught on your shirt or whatever. So having your shirt off is a normal thing in the gym. But I was definitely a little intimidated or self-conscious because my back clearly looks messed up. You know what I mean? Like one side is raised than the other, and you can see the curve a little bit. Like I did my best to have good posture, but you can see it. You can't hide that, And, kids are kids. Kids are going to think what they think, say what they say. And I just didn't feel like dealing with it. But a lot of it was just in my head, and I really didn't experience anything. Obviously, my teammates knew, my coach knew, but, it wasn't like that guy's back is crooked. It wasn't like that type of situation. Even though I had thought it in my head, it wasn't reality. But it still was, had that level of self-consciousness. But as far as at school, it was definitely there, like in the back of my mind, but I kind of ignored it and no one really noticed. So that it wasn't really as bad at school. But when I came to practice, I definitely thought about it more, for sure. But I can definitely say I wasn't teased or bullied or anything in that manner, which is cool. Oh, every day. Like, yeah, man. Because everyone, we take your shirts off, and it's like, at least for like a teenage kid who's like fit and strong, that's like it's a confidence thing. It's like, yeah, I feel good, I look good, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna take my shirt off, I'm gonna practice hard, and like it's like almost like a status thing, kind of, you know. But that I kind of felt like was diminished a little bit because of my scoliosis, so I couldn't really like show off. Like, you know, I was strong, I was proud of that, I worked hard, but it's like, but my back looked crazy, you know. So it kind of got to me a little bit, not too much, but that's why I feel like gymnastics helped as well with that discipline of just don't worry about it, just, you know, focus on what's more important here, which is training, you know. So it was like a mind game at some point. Like, I would be like, okay, like, it was crazy. Like, it was so mental. I would, like, some days I would lay on my back, like on my side, and I'd be like, okay, if I lay on my side this amount of times, then maybe I'll like sleep and it'll like grow and it'll like correct itself. Like, I would think that, and I would like try it out, and then I'd be like, okay. Like, I would like try to see if I noticed any differences. Probably not. Like, it probably didn't really help. Or I'd like do little exercises where I'd be like, okay, I got to do this many on this side of my back to get this more like stronger, and then I'll do the same but with like less weight or something. And I would try to like find ways. Again, probably didn't help, but I definitely thought about it. Like, it was like a constant thought, like, okay, maybe if I do little things here, or if I like stretch my back, or if I do this, maybe it'll like help stretch it out, help even it. But yeah, I definitely thought about that a lot. I thought about that more than I thought about being like self-conscious in any way. Like, I would always try to find ways to like correct the curve, but to no avail. Would I recommend it? Yes, but only under like certain circumstances. So for one, I recommend it if the child is active, like physically active in any way, because the stronger you are physically, the better off the child will be at recovering, like for their body. It'll be painful for sure, like, you know, it'll be very painful, but it'll be a lot less painful and the recovery time will be faster the stronger the child is, particularly in the core muscles and the back muscles, for sure. The younger, the better, because then, you know, the body is able to recover better at a younger age. And I had the surgery my senior year in high school, and so it cut my senior year competing in gymnastics. I didn't compete that year, but I still had high school, so I was able to recover leading up until college. So I had the surgery I'll never forget, December 19th, 2016. And I was back at the YMCA playing basketball, shooting around a little bit, doing light stuff in the gym by February. And they told me I wouldn't be able to do anything for 6 months. And I did it in only 3. Like, I was able to like do a little bit of swings on P-bars and like some handstands, presses, like little stuff like that after 3 months. And I truly believe gymnastics is the reason that I was able to get back so quickly. And like, there was still some discomfort, but like I could still feel like my strength was getting back, you know? So about 3 months. And the stronger the person is, the faster they'll be able to recover. So I definitely recommend it, especially now if the child is, you know, tough, go for it. If they're, you know, some people respond to pain differently. So if they're a little more sensitive or intolerant to pain, then I don't recommend it. But if it's like you have to have it type of thing, then I would recommend it for sure. And if I had to do it over again, I would. I gained, I think, like 2.5 inches of height after the surgery, and that felt different. That felt cool. And if I had to do it again, because like right now my back is at like 30-something%, or degrees, 30-something degrees still. Like, they couldn't completely correct it, but if they said, hey, we'll give you another surgery and you'll be 100% like completely straight, I'd probably do it again, like at my age, knowing like all the pain that I went through. So I feel like I'd be able to do it again, and I'm you know, still active. So yeah. So the procedure, the night before the surgery, I couldn't drink any water, couldn't eat any food. I think I had to stop by, I want to say like 9 p.m. the night before. And then I go into the surgery around 8 o'clock in the morning, and it's funny. So they were putting in my IV, like the needles and stuff, and like, I'm not afraid of needles, and like, I mean, no one likes them, but like, you know, I'm not like overly afraid. But she put it in the wrong arm, so I'm like, okay, whatever. Then she switches, and I like passed out. So yeah, so then I woke back up, and they were like, well, it's funny you're waking up because you're about to go back to sleep for the surgery. So I'm like, oh, okay. So I wake up, I was all right, see your mom. She's like, okay, I say bye to her, and then they carry me out, and then I'm like falling back to sleep as they're like bringing me into the room. So I don't even remember going into the room or anything like that. All I remember is just waking up from being passed out and then going back to sleep. So I was like, oh, whatever. So I wake up, and I think the surgery lasted 4 hours, I want to say, 3 or 4 hours. So I was back in the waiting room or the recovery room around 11 or 12, and they said they started around 8. Yeah, no, I got there early. I think I said I got there at 8. I got there around like 6:45, something like that. But I actually went into the surgery around 8. Anyways, fast forward, I'm recovering, and I just remember feeling extremely stiff, like super stiff, and like my body felt crooked, but I was straight because I was used to being crooked, and so now that I'm actually straight, I felt crooked. You know what I mean? So I just remember like laying there, and I just like couldn't move, and I'm like up, and I'm like, oh wow, okay, that was fast. It's like I took a nap, and then I tried to like look down, and like contracting my abs like hurt so bad, but it hurt like my abs and it hurt my back, and I was just like, ugh. I'm like, oh, I can't move. Like that's crazy. Like it hurt so much. It's like someone like was stabbing my back. Yeah, it was bad. I'm like, so I try to I looked around, I moved my neck, and moving my neck was fine, but I could still like feel it a little bit because your back kind of contracts a little bit when you move your neck. So I'm like, So then I tried to like roll over. It was impossible. It was impossible. I couldn't roll over like at all. Like I actually like needed help to roll over. So I wake up, I see my mom, I see my grandmother, talk to them for a little bit, and I just remember feeling like really woozy and just stiff. And they had like this like button for like extra like pain medicine, but you can only hit it like once or twice over a certain amount of time. And I just remember my dad and my sister like laughing because like I'd be talking and I'd be like mid conversation, I'd just be like hitting the button because I'd be in pain, but I wouldn't say nothing, and I'd be like, I need some help. But it wouldn't work. It was more of like a placebo because like you could only have a certain amount at a certain time. But that was funny. But so yeah, day 1 I just recovered. I threw up a lot. I think that's where I lost a lot of weight, throwing up, because like it was bad. I couldn't roll over, so I like threw up like on myself. Yeah, it was bad. I had to get cleaned up. Like it was bad. It's like I'm like I didn't eat anything for like a certain amount of time, for like over 12 hours. So I was hungry, and my body was reacting to the medicine and all that stuff. And it's common, people will throw up, but like, yeah, that sucked the worst, was throwing up and not being able to like move and like clean yourself or like do anything about it. So I'm just like, just throwing up. Like I was like just throwing up on the side of my face. It was so bad. I felt so bad for the nurses. It was gross. It was terrible. But that only lasted for maybe a couple days. I was in the hospital for 5 days total, and that only lasted for maybe, like the throwing up only lasted maybe about 2 or 3 of those days. So after that, day 2, they just helped me like roll over. They helped me practice rolling over, but it hurts. Oh, they'd be like 1, 2, 3, and I'd be like, ugh, and I'd try to roll, and it would hurt so bad. It would hurt so bad. And then they like sat me up a few times, and then I think either the second or third day, I sat up and I stood up, but they had to help me like stand up, and that was the craziest thing. It's like I hadn't used my legs in like ever. Like it was weird, but I stood up and I could just kind of gain my balance. I did have to relearn to walk. So the third day, I walked around the room. So they sat me up, and I just like walked around a little bit. And that was hard. Like it was like I was a baby, like taking my first steps again. It was weird, but I was determined. I'm like, nah, like I can't. I got to get back active. So they wanted me to sit down after the third day, but I was like, no, I want to like try to walk into the hallway. So like, okay, you can, but no more than that. So I like just walked around the hallway a little bit. Same thing on day 4, walked around the hallway a little bit further, and then day 5 I went home, and they were actually surprised at how fast I was up and trying to walk around, because I don't know, after feeling the way I did, I'm like, I gotta move, But it hurt a lot. It hurt a lot. It was worse. I'd say it was worse at home, like maybe the week after coming home. That was bad. Like, it was a few nights I was crying, like, in my sleep because the pain was so bad. Getting in and out of cars was probably the worst thing, too. Like, having to, like, bend over and slide in and out of cars. That was definitely something that sucked for a while. So I've got 2 titanium rods, like, on either side of my spine. And then I have 12 or 14 screws. I can't remember. 12 or 14, something like that. Over 10. Like, in different parts of the rods. And it helps stabilize. And it's from, I want to say from about here to here. Something like that. Maybe a little bit shorter. But it's pretty lengthy. And I'll show you the picture and you'll be able to see. But, yeah, 12 screws, 2 rods. Yeah. Recovery, it was quicker than I expected. But it was still long, 3 months. I finally was, like, doing more stuff. Bending over and tying my shoes was tricky too. That one was, yeah, like, having to bend over. Like, I'd have to like I couldn't, like, round, so I'd have to, like, bend at the hips. And it was tough. But gymnastics made me flexible, so it helped. I was already flexible enough. But since then, I've lost a lot of flexibility. Like, I'm stiff. But that's not from the surgery. That's just from me not practicing. But it definitely, like, sparked it. But how I feel now, I feel good. I did some giants the other week, last week. I feel, you know what's crazy? I'm lighter now. I think I weigh like 125 or 130. I was about 135, 140 back when I had the surgery. And I'm lighter now, but I feel heavier on the bar. But that's just because I'm weaker. You know what I mean? Like, I lost a lot of muscle. But, so that was interesting. My back definitely hurts, like, at the end of the day if I've been, like, standing up for a long time. But honestly, like, day to day, it feels better, like, way better. On average, my back was like a 4 to 6. Now it's maybe a 1 or 2, like, throughout the day, which is crazy. Now, it definitely will hurt, and when it does hurt, it hurts, but not nearly on the level that it did before the surgery. Like, it feels a lot better. I definitely feel a lot stiffer, not only in my back, but just in my body in general. I wish I would have been more diligent about staying, like, active and stretching and stuff like that. If not weightlifting, at least just stretching. I feel like I should have done a better job about that after the surgery. Other than that, I feel pretty good. I feel good. Like, gymnastics, I don't think it definitely would have been rough, but I don't think it would have been as rough as it would have seemed, you know. But I feel good now. I feel good. I feel like I can do pretty much anything I want to do. Just, I'm not as strong, but I can gain that back for sure, you know. And not as flexible, but I can gain that back as well. Injuries are always a part of whatever sport you do. And it can definitely take a toll on you mentally. But at the end of the day, you can do what you can to prevent injuries, but it's natural. And when they come, they come. Take it with the best mentality, because the better your mentality is about healing, I think your body reacts better to it. So if you're like, and you're more like in a depressive state and less positive mental state, I believe that your body, it reflects on your body as well. So the more positive you stay, the more diligent you are with, like, rehab and just keeping a positive mentality. I think that translates into the body as well, and it helps the body recover. Because the mind, mind over matter, always. And just stay mental. It's gonna be tough. It will. Don't get me wrong. It'll be tough. Injuries suck, but just the more positive you are, the better. Mind over matter.
Yo. What's up, guys? This is my boy Phoenix. Old teammate. Hasn't done power in how long?
Like, consistently 7 years.
7 years hasn't swum power. Maybe like 2 or 3 days in the past 7 years.
Probably, yeah.
So we're gonna get in and work out.
Yeah.
He's about to show us what's up, and we'll see how it does.
Let's see how we go.
Let's go, baby.
Let's do it.
Mr. Soprano. Mr. Soprano.
Guys, I had scoliosis. At right angle, we all know, is 90 degrees. I was 83.
Wait, go up a little bit? Yeah. If you guys can tell, he's got a scar from there all the way to there. His back used to be sideways. You saw the x-ray.
And now he's back.
Yep, exactly.